Well, we got her running again. My handler's not with me right now, which is a good thing. And so I don't like being told what to do, and I don't know what to do with that phone, so I'm going to set her down. I want to tell you two little short stories. And uh, I, I had lost my finger. Uh, I guess I had broken every other finger twice, and and that was another pride thing. And a couple of weeks after, uh, the company I was working for, they said they wanted me to go to a place called Battle Lake, and called me in the afternoon, and I was to be there for the next morning. So I just hooked onto my old luxurious '93 wilderness trailer. Is about 18 foot long, and I don't know much about it, but it was shelter, and so I packed up a bit of food. I don't eat that much nowadays, and I headed north, and I had no idea how far Battle Lake was from the ranch southwest of Calgary, and I just really drove, and anyways, my finger hurt a tiny bit. I pulled into what is called a laydown. That's where all the equipment's parked, and usually there's a generator going, and usually the lock on the gate is not a real lock. They usually just kind of make it look like it's a lock, and it is a lock, but it's not closed. But 9:30 at night, 27, 28 below zero, I thought I'm gonna have to sleep in that trailer of mine, and I never did learn how to turn the heater on. I just always plugged the stupid electric heater in, and I thought I'm gonna freeze my ass off tonight. And I thought might not hurt. I knew that was a lie. Anyways, I was getting ready to turn and walk and climb into my trailer, and a truck pulled out or pulled up behind me. It was a good Dodge truck, pretty old. I like old Dodges. Looking for one now, and I thought I'd just walk over to that man. And I walked over, and big man. So I have issues with being short. That's all right. I stepped up to the window, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I was just seeing if the gate was open. I was going to go in and try to park my trailer and spend the night. I have a job in the morning here." And he said, "So you're going to talk to them about a job in the morning?" And I thought clarity is not necessarily something that in your mind you actually maintain. Possibly you never knew it. And I said, "No." I said, "I already have a job." He said, "You look pretty sketchy to me." I said, "Son, I look like a street person. Let's get over that." So we talked for a little tiny bit, and he says, "You know, I have a gun on my seat beside me." I said, "Brother," I said, I have a sawed off 12 gauge over in my trailer. I'd sure be glad to go over and grab it and bring it back and show you what it looks like." And he said, "No. You know." Then he said, we talked a tiny bit, then he said, "You want a beer?" I'm a hillbilly. I don't know how far back his gene pool got mixed up, but I think it had been mixed up ever since. And I said, "You know something?" I said, "It's 9:30. I've been driving for a little bit too long. My old truck's not too quick, and neither am I anymore." And he passed me a can of beer. You ever get to know me, you'll understand what's going to happen next. I took that beer, and I held it in my hand, and I I looked at that big man and I said, I never had a I never had a girly beer before. And I watched his eyes and I saw a whole lot of that he didn't like. So I just I opened that can up and I took I thought it was going to be a little drink, but I really liked that stuff. And clam something. Well, whatever. And I looked at him again and I said, you know something? He said, what? I said, that girly beer that you drink is really good. His right hand kind of stirred on the seat a little bit, and I thought I might just pushed it too far. He said, you know what I'm going to do? And I thought, I hope I don't get to know what you're going to do, Sonny. And he said, I'm gonna pull out from behind you, and you're gonna follow me down the road. And if you cut and run, he said, I'm gonna start shooting. I said, you know, son, I said, you ever watch movies from the 70s? He assured me he had, and I said, one of my favorites that I only watched once and I couldn't ever bring myself to watch it again was called Deliverance. I said, Sonny, my male member was made for the wife that my God created for me. It's kind of funny, I've had 3 of them already and none of them really liked me, but anyways, it sounded good at the time, so I said, I don't know what they're called nowadays. I said, I'm a man. And I said, I'll follow you. But I said, you look into my eyes, Sonny. That big jerk didn't get out of the truck. I'm kind of glad. Anyways, he pulled out in the road. I remember what he said about cutting and running. I don't run much. I don't like it. So I put my old Dodge in gear and I got following that really big guy. I took my hat off and I set it on the dash and smiled to myself and I said to the Lord, looks like I'm going to be talking to you face to face in about 20 minutes. That's all I said. Anyways, I followed that big giant down and he took me out through the back pasture and out past some hay bales and funny old-fashioned. What we used to do is make a hay mow, and he didn't go anywhere near his driveway, and I thought, my shotgun's in the trailer and I'm a dead man. But he turned he turned ahead of me and we kind of headed toward the lights and I'm telling you, we went right up to that barn and he got out of his truck and he kind of showed me where he wanted me to stop and I got out of my truck. It was real cold, man. And he walked over to me and I never took my eyes off that man. I don't know if I could have dropped him, but I'm telling you, no one in this world would have tried harder, and my old martial arts teachers might have just been right in teaching me how to. Anyways, he said, plug it in there. And I said, I thank you. He said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I waited until I was sure he was in the house. I could watch him from where I was standing between the truck and the trailer, and trust me, an 18-foot fifth wheel, you don't have much room. And I plugged that stupid thing in. I locked my truck up. I went in and I reached up into that fifth wheel. I grabbed my old sawed off, and I'll tell you, I made sure there's a round in it. And I plugged my heater in. Oh, dear Lord, I was a happy camper. Come and knock at the door. I opened the door and it was a little weasel-looking man. And he said this, get my voice on. I practiced this for a while. Want to come to the house for some spaghetti? I said, no, my brother, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to climb right up in that gooseneck of mine. I'm going to grab that little sawed-off 12-gauge shotgun. I'm going to lock the door. I'm going to snuggle up to that shotgun, and I'm not ever going to sleep, Sonny. He kind of got the idea. Well, I did snuggle up to that shotgun, and people don't realize if it's a shotgun that's been exposed to the air of minus 28, don't put that near your skin because you'll never be able to go to sleep. The agony is astounding. Anyways, next day, I just checked the time. My handler's still outside. I'm kind of glad. And next day, I got up at about 5 in the morning, and the heater was still working, but no one really would believe that because it was still really cold. Now I got my really, really cold clothing on, and I got my heavy outer stuff on. I got out of that trailer and hooked that big Dodge, and I headed down to where I knew I had to work, and lo and behold, I may have been about the first or second person there. I drove in, and apparently the whole crew had heard about how the children let a pipe go and crush my hand, and I'd walk from the hospital. I'm taking a rabbit trail here. I have 3 minutes to fill in, and I'd walk back to the hospital, and I'd gone back to work. Those two little jerks that said I was too old that day when they dropped the pipe. I probably am. Preacher one time told me, son, he says, when you figure you run out of words, you might as well stop. I don't know if you enjoyed this half like as much as I did. Don't ever judge a man by his appearance. You judge a man by his heart, his courage. I tell people I've been shot at, I've been drugged. Tell you, you ever hear of a little baby girl who has been drugged and then raped, and you all just should really listen to the baby girl. Young man, in-law type, hated me, and he asked me if I could give him a shot of whiskey late in the day, 2 days before Christmas, and I said, only if you promise to go back to work. And he and I both drank that, not the same one. And he said he was pleading. He's a drug addict and worked for the Chinese mafia, apparently. I didn't like him, and he didn't like me. He said, I'd like another one. I said, we're working. I said, I'll give you one more. And so I knew I'd turn my back, and he'd drink as much as he wanted anyways. I thought, why not? So I poured the rotten person a drink, and I walked into the bathroom, and I came back out, and I drank that drink. And that young man said he was 6'2", 240. He is scared of me. Means he wasn't altogether stupid. I don't know what he said. I hit him about chest high and he sloughed me off to the side and I hit the ground and he went to work. I was unconscious and he tried to choke me to death, and that's why my voice sounds like this. I don't mind the sound. So my friends, I just filled in 3 minutes. We'll never go to that subject again. I'm going to do my Red Skelton impression. I'm going to smile. I'm going to say, God bless. I'm going to turn this thing off. I learned how. We'll talk to you. That didn't work.